In this video, we will be taking a look at the top 10 upcoming games in June 2016. June is a light month in terms of game releases, but there are still some pretty good games to be on the lookout for. Without further ado, let's get right into this with number 10. Number 10, 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die is an open-world survival game. The game has been a part of Steam's early access program since December of 2013, but the final product releases next month on PC and consoles. The game takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where the player is spawned into and must survive as long as possible against the zombies. As the days go by, the zombies get tougher and tougher. You'll have to survive the night and make it to the day where zombies are slower and weaker. As with survival games, multiplayer will also be available through player-hosted servers. 7 Days to Die releases next month on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Number 9, Umbrella Corps. Umbrella Corps is a spin-off of the Resident Evil games and is a multiplayer shooter. The game is set in 2015, 2 years after the events of Resident Evil 6 and 12 years after the collapse of the Umbrella Corporation. Players act as mercenaries from 2 different corporations and they have to cooperate with fellow mercenaries to eliminate the opposing team. Pretty standard multiplayer fare, but the maps will include traditional Resident Evil themes and environments, including zombies. The game does not have a main campaign, however it does have a single-player mode, The Experiment, which is a horde mode with 20 missions where you fight wave of enemies. Umbrella Corps releases on June 21st for PC and PS4. Number 8, The Technomancer. The Technomancer is a science fiction action RPG being developed by Spiders, who also worked on Mars Warlogs. Both of those games take place in the same universe. The Technomancer is set on a colonized Mars. You play as a rookie Technomancer, Zachariah, who is on the run from the secret police. There's several different factions to join, several styles of combat, and options in how you upgrade your character. Each quest will also have different dialogue options, making the game very replayable. While the visuals don't look amazing, this is a game with a very interesting setting and premise. It releases on PC, PS4, and Xbox One on June 21st. Number 7, LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. The LEGO games are heralded as some of the most fun and nonsensical games on the market. And now comes the latest, LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, obviously based on the film. The gameplay is generally the same in this game with some new additions. Multi-builds allow players to destroy and rebuild sections of the game, opening up new paths in the game's world. LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens will be adapting not only the recent movie, but also the content between The Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. It releases on June 28th for PC, 3DS, PS3, PS4, PS Vita, Wii U, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. Number 6, Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 is a game that's been in the works for quite a while now. Since the controversy surrounding the game has been well publicized, let's focus on the game itself. Many consider Mighty Number 9 a spiritual successor to Mega Man, and you can definitely see the similarities from the level and character design, gameplay structure. There's definitely elements of the Blue Bomber there. However, Mighty Number 9 is also its own entity. The game has a big emphasis on score. Each level you try to get the highest score possible, and you can revisit levels to increase your score. It's essentially adding a modern gameplay mechanic, which is nice. Mighty Number 9 also has some fantastic visuals with some great particle effect. Yes, the game has been delayed several times, but don't sleep on Mighty Number 9. It still has potential to be a very good game. The game releases on June 21st for PC, PS3, PS4, Wii U, Xbox 360, and Xbox One.
Play this game. You like fighting bosses? Boom! Boss Rush Mode, baby! You want to tackle all the challenges we got? On it. Here's a challenge mode for you.
Number 5, Odin Sphere Lift Tracer. Developed by Vanillaware, Odin Sphere was initially released back in 2007 on the PlayStation 2. It was an excellent 2D action RPG with amazing hand-drawn visuals. The soundtrack was great, the gameplay was unique, and now it's being remastered in the form of Odin Sphere Lift Tracer running at 1080p and 60 FPS. It's got refined gameplay, more content, and Japanese and English voiceovers. If you've never played Odin Sphere, I implore you, it's a fantastic game, and this will by far be the best version. It releases on June 7th for PS3, PS4, and PlayStation Vita. Number 4, God Eater Resurrection. God Eater is one of the more popular games in Japan, and it did see a release stateside in 2011 that went pretty under the radar. God Eater finally comes to the West again with God Eater Resurrection. You are tasked to fight against creatures known as the Aragami, ranging in small beasts or gigantic bosses. The game features over 100 missions, and Resurrection adds more content. The story isn't anything amazing, but the gameplay is where God Eater shines. God Eater Resurrection releases on June 28th for PC, PS4, and PlayStation Vita, and don't forget that God Eater 2 is also launching later in the summer.
因縁の荒神ディアウスピターが新たな
Number 3, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. Star Ocean is finally making a comeback. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness will be the first game in the series since 2009's The Last Hope. The Last Hope had a lot of issues in its storytelling, the writing was pretty bad, and the English dub voiceovers were atrocious. However, the gameplay was excellent, the combat system was never repetitive and always engaging. With Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, the core fast-paced gameplay will be retained, but hopefully the storytelling will be improved. The cutscenes of the game are seamlessly integrated into the gameplay, which is great because the last game had a series of long-winded cutscenes that just weren't very good. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness released on June 21st for PlayStation 4. Number 2, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Star Ocean is making a comeback and so is Mirror's Edge. 2008's Mirror's Edge was by no means a perfect game, but it was so different than anything else on the market at that time. We had an overload of first-person shooters and came along a first-person platformer that had guns, but it wasn't the focus of the game. It was just a very interesting title. While it didn't perform up to par commercially, over the years it has gained a cult following, leading to EA finally announcing Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which isn't a sequel, rather an origin story of the main character Faith. This time around, the game will be fully open world, taking place in the gorgeous city of Glass. From playing the beta, the game looks great and plays really well too. Mirror's Edge Catalyst has seen a few delays, but it looks like it will finally be releasing on June 7th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Faith, I really hope you're not around that antenna anymore.
And finally, number 1, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was announced back in 2013, shortly after the release of the PlayStation 4, and it instantly became one of the most anticipated games on the platform. No Man's Sky is an open universe game where you play as a planetary explorer tasked to explore 18 quintillion planets. Okay, so it's impossible that you'll ever be able to explore that many planets, just know that the game is going to have a ton of content. No Man's Sky is built on 4 gameplay pillars: exploration, survival, combat, and trading. The game isn't just mindless exploration. You may draw the attention of sentinels, which will attempt to kill the player, and you'll have to fight them off. You'll have to collect and upgrade your ship in order to complete the game's main objective of reaching the center of the galaxy. The small team at Hello Games appear to be creating a gigantic game. It's filled with ambition. No Man's Sky releases on June 21st for PC and PS4.
So beacons are where you... Beacons are where you upload discoveries. That's it over there.
So that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 games coming in June 2016. What do you think? Do you agree with our list? Disagree? What games are you the most excited for in June?